Have you ever been evicted? I never have, but I know some people that have, and I've seen it once or twice. Eviction is part of the legal process to remove a person from a home, apartment, or other residence. Like, for example, when you don't pay your rent in an apartment, they'll start the eviction process with a letter informing you that your payments are late. Then you usually get 30 days or so to get current with your payments. Then it goes to court, and the court will issue a judgment to remove you from the property. The last step in this process is when police come to enforce the judgment and physically, if necessary, remove you from the property. The process might be a little different where you live, but that's the basics just about everywhere. So a few years ago, when the whole world went crazy and everyone stayed home for about a year, they stopped doing evictions in court. No one could work. No one had any money to pay rent, and no one could even go out and find a new place anyway. So landlords pretty much got the bad end of the deal on that one. But this started a new activist movement where there is general hate about landlords and the eviction process in general. I think it reached its natural conclusion just the other day. In Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Rory Susan Woods was kind of protesting an eviction. It was kind of a protest and kind of just trying to stop it from happening by interfering with the police when they arrived to finalize the eviction process. This wasn't even her house. Apparently it was a friend's house. The house is valued at over $1.5 million, according to Zillow. But her last known residence was a tent in someone else's backyard. It's a very weird story. So the cops show up, and almost immediately after the cops arrive, Rory Susan Woods pulls up in her blue Nissan Xterra towing a trailer. She gets out of the SUV. She's wearing a white suit and goes directly to the trailer and starts opening boxes. This was noticed immediately by the cops, and they kind of started to panic. See, the trailer was loaded with brightly colored wooden boxes that contained beehives, and that white suit was a beekeeper's suit. She tries to get the bees agitated and releases them. She has a bit of trouble opening the lid, so she just pushes the beehives over. Well, the bees are good and agitated now. It must have looked like a cartoon. Cops have to get involved right away because if she opens more boxes, more bees. But the bees are already swarming they're swarming like a bunch of extremely aggressive, angry bees. So they finally get it sorted out. They don't say how, but it must have been just crazy. Several officers were stung. One was sent to the hospital fearing an allergic reaction, but they were released with minor inconvenient injuries. If anyone would have had a more serious allergic reaction, she would have been charged with attempted manslaughter, or in the worst case, actual manslaughter. She was charged with many counts of assault and battery using a dangerous weapon, plus resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, stuff like that. I could end the story right now and it would be fine. But there's more. Why was she so mad about an eviction that wasn't even her house? Well, she was the victim of eviction herself. A victim? Isn't the property owner the victim when someone gets evicted? Yeah, sure, that's how it normally goes. See, Woods is claiming that when she was evicted, she was fighting cancer, and the eviction process interrupted her cancer treatment. Now, after fighting her eviction for years, she was finally removed from her own home, according to this article, in 2018. Then, somehow all of her things were destroyed when they were in storage. Now, when the article came out, she was living in a tent on a friend's property. The eviction process, this is a quote from her, "The eviction process has clearly been weaponized by the courts to thwart my appeal, which has every chance of success due to case law precedent," Woods said. So either the local government is harassing her and took her house with lawfare, or she might be an absolute mental case. We may never know, but the world is getting to be one hell of a crazy place. I just can't wait to see what happens next. So if you enjoyed this, do the like and subscribe thing. I got another video coming later, so I'll see you soon.